Okay, for us students, welcome to this demonstration, this leaf chromatography demonstration. I hope you guys can see this video. Some of you guys are doing different things with this investigation, but the basic procedure is going to be pretty much the same. So again, for starters, make sure I got my data table and my notes, okay? I got a start and stop date and time. I have this little table with the species, the leaf size, and the number of colors, and I wrote my species in here. So again, have this data table ready, okay? And I went out and I collected my 3 sets of leaves. I got some white oak that I pulled off a tree here, all from the same tree. I got some black maple leaves here, and I have some serviceberry leaves here for number 3. So we're just going to start with one of them, and what we're going to do is the first thing is we're going to find the biggest leaf of the bunch. Okay, I got some extras here just in case, but we're going to measure the biggest leaf of the bunch. This is the biggest black maple leaf I have, so we'll do this one. And I'm going to find the longest measurement on it straight across. So from tip to tip here on the lobe in centimeters, we've got 14.5 centimeters that way. And we have 14 centimeters. But if I go here to here, straight across here, from the tip of this lobe to this one, my longest measurement I can do is 14.5 centimeters. Okay, I just use a simple ruler here. Here to here is a little longer than here to here, so I'm going to take that measurement, 14.5 centimeters, and in my notes I'm going to write that one down. Okay, this is the black maple, 14.5 centimeters, our longest one. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. Now I'm going to pull off the stem, I don't need that. And then what I'm going to do, I could use scissors if I want, but I think I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm going to break up the leaves. I can pull out, I just want the leaf part here. And I'm just going to crunch it up here. Okay. Now I'm actually going to want a little more than just this leaf. Okay, but I'm measuring just the biggest leaf. Okay. I'm going to grab another one in here. I'll just grab this one. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to tear it up. Okay, into small pieces. As small as I reasonably can. Alright. Let's see, 2 of these big leaves actually is quite a bit. Okay, let's see, how are we doing here? I can take the back handle of the spoon here. Let's see. I want some more in there. I want a good amount in there. I'm going to tear up another one. So I'm just going to grab another one. And I don't have to measure these ones. We're just going to measure the biggest one and use that number, okay? At least for these purposes. Okay, so again, some of you guys are doing different investigations with this procedure. So I'm not going to speak to all the details about why you're doing what and so on, because that's going to vary by class and grade level a little bit. Okay, and grab another, and how's this one looking? Let's see. I just want a good bit in here. That was what? Is that 4 leaves? And I want just a good clump at the bottom. So in this jar, I'm going to do 1 more leaf, I think. Now you can use any containers here. I have 3 identical jars. They don't all need to be the same. You could use 3 different cups, 3 different mugs. Probably not paper, but anything else. All right, let's tear up 1 more here. I'll tell you what. Okay. This here is looking pretty good. Okay, that's a good amount of leaf in the bottom of there. Plenty to get a reading out of. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a mixture of half rubbing alcohol, half water, okay? If you don't have rubbing alcohol, it's actually very hard to find in the stores now because it's all being used for hand sanitizer. You can use isopropyl alcohol hand sanitizer. This is isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and we're just going to make a 50-50 mixture of this with water. So I've just got a little mixing container here. And, you know, if this were done in the lab, we would do a very precise measurement, but for our purposes, we want to get it about 50-50 close enough. So I've got some little measurements on this bottle. I'm going to fill the water up to about the 8-ounce mark here. There we go, I got 8 ounces of water in here. And then I'm going to take my rubbing alcohol and I'll just pour it up to the 16 mark so I know I have half and half, okay? Like I said, for this kind of an investigation, the procedure doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to measure to the exact milliliter, especially if you're doing this at home. And there we go. It's about half and half. Okay, just some diluted rubbing alcohol. You could use hand sanitizer. You could squeeze a bunch of hand sanitizer in a cup or something and then dump in about an equal part of water and mix it together. That would be fine as well, especially if you've got the alcohol-based hand sanitizer, okay? But I'm just gonna make a quick 50-50 mixture here. This is plenty. You will actually not need like a full pint. I made a bunch of extra here. And we'll just mix it together a little bit in the bottle. Okay, and then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour enough over the top of the glass just to cover it, okay? We've got a little more there. So we've got our black maple. I'm gonna pour some in here. All right, so I've got some in there, all right? I might have used a little extra leaf, a little too much, more than I needed, because it's going to cause me to use more of this, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to take the back handle of a little wooden spoon thing here. You can use any item, anything, something like this that'll grind up some leaves. Okay, and you're just going to grind these up in here. So you're going to get them broken down a little bit. Probably should have done this while they were dry a little more, but hey, I've never done this before, and I've never done online demonstrations in science class either, so first time for everything. But if you just get these leaves softened up a bit and a little broken down, they don't need to be perfect. Okay, just to break them up a little bit. Okay. That's pretty good. All right, now I do need to have some liquid covering them. So as you can see, I used quite a bit of leaves. You probably won't need that much. I used a lot, so now I have to use extra of our 50-50 solution to get them covered up, which is fine. And yeah, they just need to have enough liquid in here that it's covering. Good, I can see that they're already starting to dissolve into that alcohol water mixture. I'm seeing some pigments in the liquid, so that's good. So from there, I'm gonna take a simple coffee filter. Okay, I'm gonna make kind of a cone shape out of it. Okay, I'm gonna kind of pinch the bottom here. Okay, just to give this something to sit in here. Okay, just kind of a gentle cone, doesn't have to be super pointed. I get my finger about like that. All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick this down into the solution so that there's water at the bottom and that the top of it is dry inside the container here. And I just need enough to get it going. And that should be enough. Okay, if you can see the setup here, got that coffee filter, the tip of it's down in the liquid with the leaves. The rest of it's just sitting gently in the jar. And that's our black maple, and we'll leave that here. So now we're not gonna touch it, we're just gonna let it sit. It needs to go at least 12 hours, so maybe we'll just do overnight, because that's when I'm gonna be back here, is tomorrow morning. So we gotta record now, data, our start date and time. Today is October 13th, and we started at 9:10 a.m. Okay, so I've got my data chart here, and that was for one of them, for the black maple. And all I would do is I would repeat this for our white oak and for our serviceberry leaves, and then we'll see what happens. Hopefully in 12 hours or so, we start to see some pigments come out of solution and onto the coffee filter paper. And like I said, some of you guys are investigating different aspects of this depending on your class, but the same basic procedure is going to apply. So get those leaves ground up, a little 50-50 solution, rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer and water, grind them up, cover them, put a coffee filter in there, and wait and see what happens. Okay.